If you are in the market for an action camera, you might want to check out this XTU X1. It's a $180 camera that shoots 4K in 60 frames per second. And packed with everything else you probably need. This is the box that it comes with. It highlights all the key features that the camera has to offer. But who cares about the box? Y'all are here to see me review the camera, not the box, right? The build quality of this camera is quite nice. It has a rubber metallic texture at the front and it feels solid and dense with a bit of weight to it. The touchscreen at the back of the camera gives you easy access to multiple photos and video recording features. Press the menu button to access the setting. Like I mentioned before, the camera records in 4K at 60 frames per second at the highest, stepping down to 1080p at 120 fps and 720p at 240 fps. I don't know what LDC stands for, but my guess is linear distortion correction. When it's turned on, it essentially eliminates the fisheye effect from the wide angle lens that are very common on the action cameras. The camera can adjust the light exposure through metering, shutter speed, and ISO, which gives more flexibility for the cameraman to compose their shots. Speaking of composing a shot, one of my favorite features under the photo mode is the burst mode, which takes multiple photos within 1 second, with the option to choose from 5 to 15 photos per second. The camera also has HDR mode, but I'm not too impressed by it. It looks like the camera simply overexposed the image by about 1 stop to reveal the shadow while sacrificing the details in the highlights. Unlike the proper HDR image, which gives a vibrant look that retains details in both highlights and shadows. The camera does give you the option to take raw photo, but cap out at 12 megapixel, whereas JPEG mode can take all the way up to 20 megapixel. If taking selfie is your thing, hold on the menu button on top for about 2 seconds to switch the view to the front of the camera so you can see what you're recording from the front. You can hold on to the menu button about 2 seconds again to switch the view back to the back of the camera. The battery is detachable from the camera and the caps are waterproof seals that protects the camera up to 16 feet underwater. And the camera does require UHS class 3 or above micro SD card to work. Here's a non-scientific underwater test. I have a bucket of water measured around 7 inches deep. Throw this camera into the bucket. So while it's inside the bucket, let's see the comparison of underwater mode versus normal video mode. It seems the underwater mode adds a more yellow tint to the footage. So the camera has now been in the water for about a few minutes now. I will take it out and everything seems to be still functioning. Wipe the surface dry and see if any water seep into the delicate compartment for battery or memory card or the charging port. They seem dry to me. The mounting brackets that I come with are all compatible with GoPro's mounting accessories. So keep all those GoPro mount if you already have them. This camera also comes with a remote control that can be wear like a watch, but I personally don't like to wear anything on my wrist in general, so I'm not a big fan of it, but just throwing it out there for you to know that it does come with a remote control. I did spend some time testing out the Gyro EIS internal image stabilization feature under various strenuous situations, so I will keep my mouth shut for the next few minutes so you can judge the footage yourself under no distraction. I almost forgot to mention the camera takes awesome time-lapse in both video and photo mode. Under video mode, the camera automatically processes the time-lapse footage for you, whereas photo mode captures a sequence of images at a frequency the user set, and it requires some post-processing work to compile the time-lapse for the photo mode. The advantage of capturing time-lapse under photo mode is the footage retains slightly more detail compared to the video mode. I was able to shoot 4K at 30 frames per second continuously for slightly more than an hour. This camera, in my opinion, met my expectation of an action camera at its price point, considering all the features, image quality, and especially for its internal stabilization ability. If you have more questions about this camera, feel free to comment down below. I will reply as soon as I can. If you are interested in purchasing this camera, I have an Amazon link under the description.